Hello, and welcome to another very scuffed VOD review. First of all, you might be asking yourself, this is Paint, this is not Overwatch. I'm gonna talk a bit about queuing because I think, I played competitive games for a very long time and team-based ones actually, and I think a lot of people have not really have misconceptions, but don't rationalize how competitive game works. I mean, like ranking and climbing and stuff. So I just wanted to give you like a quick heads up. First of all, we have these six people on the enemy team, six people on your team. Now, what people get mad is when they play a game and they are like, holy shit, this fucking team, they are so bad. Like, I have all these like shit players. And by the way, uh, yeah, this one is you. The red one is you. I have this shit player on my team, and I'm losing because I got like shit teammates. And really, if you have people who are bad in your games, that's actually very beneficial to you because very simple. You have one. Oh fuck, that's red. Whatever. Yeah. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in the enemy team, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in your team. So your odds of getting, if you are getting matched with shit players or like I don't know, like bad one tricks for example in Overwatch, actually the chances that the enemy gets them is a lot higher, significantly higher than that you get them. So basically, if people are shit, you're gonna climb every time. I mean, assuming you are not shit, obviously. Um, but this has the other side that if the people around you, these 11 people, are all better than you, then you are definitely going to lose over time. Like if you play like a theoretical infinite amount of games. Obviously, I understand you don't play infinite games every day, but let's just assume that you do. Over time, you play a lot of games. So that's good thing. The cool thing about even like solo queue, obviously if you duo, like that's more complicated because enemy gets duo, and you don't only have to be good individually, but like synergistically and stuff like that. That's the reason why I kinda don't like duo queuing, but I understand if some people do. Um, so the other side of this, if these people are better, you're gonna lose. Now I said better. What does better mean? And I kinda get to blank slate here. No, I don't want to save this. Thank you. Excuse me. Oh, sorry, not saving. Yeah. Um. So I'm gonna give you a different example, or not an example, as an explanation. So basically, if I want to keep it very simple, there are two things that will make you win more games. Two things that are based on that you being good is based on. One of that is mistakes. Now, by mistakes, I mean making less mistakes. Ideally, making absolutely zero mistakes, because that's kind of what you want there. The other part is plays, and that's making plays. Now the difference is like for like mistakes, a lot of the time are mechanical things, like missing shots that you shouldn't miss. But no, you can make decision making mistakes, obviously. And plays a lot of more. I find that plays are more often decision making and game sense and stuff like that, and mistakes are more among mechanical mistakes. And and by making no mistakes, I don't mean literally making no mistakes like with Lucio hitting every bunny hop or something like that. I mean that not feeding, basically, not doing stupid shit, not feeding your ult, not engaging when you shouldn't. A lot of the times you go for a play and you end up screwing up, and I don't consider that a mistake, because you're kind of your base fucking the state that you are in is that you are trying to make no mistakes, and then if you see a chance for a play, you can try to make the play, and that's either good or bad, but then you eventually go back to trying to not make mistakes. And I give you an example with Anna. A lot of the times, uh, there's the biotic grenade, and sometimes you have to use it to heal someone. You basically have to, or else they die and you lose the fight. Now, obviously, you give up the biotic nade, that's a huge cooldown. That's not really a mistake though. Your hands were forced, you're not making a mistake by using a nade there. You are not really missing a play either because you have to use it. But if you have the biotic grenade on Anna and you are free to use it, and you have like a less than obvious chance to use it, and you don't, that's not a mistake either. That's just you just didn't take the route to make a play, or because you could use the nade and then whiff it and need it later. So basically, you put yourself in a situation when you are out of this comfort zone, when you are very solid and consistent, and you put yourself in a place where you are unstable for no gain, and that's when making plays kind of becomes the big thing. And I think that's one thing that I learned in like high masters and low GM and stuff like that, that I had to resort to this more and more, because my I don't know, my just me being good at the game and not making mistakes is started running out, and you have to make more plays. And with Lucio that means going aggressive sometimes, but knowing when to be aggressive, using committing to using good boobs to basically let your front line win the game and make plays. But that's a play itself. And with Anna, I know less about Anna, but you often, if you make a play with Anna, you either do like some sort of crazy sequence of shots to take down someone, or a big nade. More often than not, a big nade. And sometimes sleep too, but sleep I feel like is more in the mistakes category, and nade is more in like this place category. And with Lucio, many times you just use your boop to peel, use your boop to do that like little extra damage, but basically every time you have your boop of cooldown, theoretically you could be making a play that wins you the fight, even wins you the game eventually. So that's kind of what I wanted to, because I think that's something that I really been focusing on. I think it's been benefiting me. Like obviously right now I'm like low as shit, but I don't care. I'm kind of like having fun making different sort of styles, making more plays, failing more plays, and feeding more because I'm making plays. Kind of try to find a balance, and I think obviously about pace, you can recognize them and then you can execute them, and you really want to be good at recognizing them, because executing them is just gonna come from like a naturally. And that's why you have to be analytical about your gameplay, and that's why VOD reviews are good actually, I think, because you see your own gameplay through somebody else's eyes, and he sees more of these lines, or maybe he sees more of the mistakes that you have to iron out. But yeah, mistakes are harder to point out than misplays, at least I think so. In somebody else's play, and when you are in the game, mistakes are obviously easier to recognize than misplays. But in somebody else's play, I can point out like 1,000 mistakes, and you wouldn't really improve from them unless there's a pattern or something. But missing plays, or like misplaying plays, like going for plays where you shouldn't go for them, is a big thing. So that's about the rant. We can watch the game.
I'm not gonna play Ana in here, I would say.
Yeah, don't play on King of the Hill. Like that's fucking Lucio territory, mate. That's the that's the holy grail of Lucio.
Should I play Ana in here?
No, don't do it. Unless you're solo healing, but even then I would play something else. You can actually,
If
with
you want to play Ana, then go for it.
certain teams you can solo heal as Lucio. But, you know, obviously main heal is a lot more idea. Yeah, fuck yeah, go for the Lucio. Okay. So right now, you have Orisa, you have Hog, that's huge. That's like, honestly, half of winning a game right now in like High Masters and low GM and stuff like that is having a Hog and an Orisa. Obviously, I won like, yesterday I won like I think 2 games with like 4 DPS or 4 DPS both games, and you know, so that's not just how it goes, but so that's not the only way to win, but it's really important. But yeah, don't push Hog unless unless you are farming him, because you can farm him. Yeah, you are zoning this left side very well. However, if they like collapse on your team, you should be like looking at your team a bit more to like kinda catch the spikes, but you don't have to because they are owning. So it's good. Just pocket your tracer, kinda get headshotted, unlucky. That's just kinda the risk you run by not staying with your team. Usually on this point, the very safe play is okay. This is gonna be on multiple things right now, but the very safe play at the beginning of the round, because they don't expect it, and you know, maybe later, is go around. Actually, let me rewind. Go around the. Go around the right side of the lighthouse right here. Like, I'm waiting for you to maybe look at it. You can like climb this thing like this way, super easy, behind them, drop down, take a boop, and you can wall skim off of this the gate, the other side of the gate, and get back your team really quickly. And usually you don't get caught. It's kind of safe, but the amount of times that I had like a double kill, triple kill doing that is actually quite high. So on Ilios, you should definitely play towards the right side and make boop plays. If your tracer is trying to, you know, play left side, let him play left side. You know, he's a fucking tracer. What you gonna do? It's not like you're gonna like out heal if they catch him. So yeah. I would have personally stick with my team and went for the flank boop. Right now, you see like Hockey sleeping. Orisa probably has no shift because I assume she would be dead otherwise, because you have an Orisa Hog. So so you know, you could, maybe that was a potential double kill. Maybe they see you coming and hook you off or something, but you know, I think it's a lot better play. Tracer is owning though. Also rollouts, it's good that you are now boosting by the Orisa, but I think rollouts are a lot easier than people think they are. I personally never have any rollouts memorized. Yeah, just stay high against Doomfist, very good job. I don't have any rollouts memorized. Oh well, almost none. I have like 1 or 2. Most of the time I just like I kinda improvise on the point, and you can get some pretty sweet rollouts that way. Yeah, healing your Hanzo. Actually, kind of like tracking the Doomfist is good as Lucio, because he can do much against you. I would have personally chased that kill, but you know, maybe it's for the best because you are winning. You can 1v1 or like kind of harass and annoy Doomfist a lot as Lucio, because just being high on a wall makes you almost invincible. Yeah, good taxi, very good taxi. Taxing back your Orisa is the most important, because as long as you have Orisa and Lucio, you can win any fight, like potentially. Because you have so much peel of the Orisa shield with Lucio. It's actually good. I mean, it's actually like a bad combo, but on King of the Village it's not. And I don't think it's as bad as people think. On certain maps I obviously prefer Zam, but Lucio is good.
He doesn't miss.
Yeah, that was... Okay, so let's try to like take a look at what you wanted to do. I usually like, I would have tried to sticking with my Orisa here, and because there's this kind of like pillar in the middle of this room, so you can line of sight any sort of Doomfist thought with Warride. It's super easy. And if he tries to engage on your kind of like core, which is here because Hanzo is throwing and Tracer is doing Tracer things, and I think Hog is about to get hooked. So I would have personally stayed with the Orisa to hit the falling Doomfist, because Orisa Lucia, you know, if you hit the headshots, you can, and you have supercharger, you can actually burst him down. But
It doesn't miss.
playing this outside is guess is valid for spam, but it's easy to wait for a Doomfist. And yeah, that beat was, you know, obviously not the greatest because Orisa didn't have line of sight, and everyone else was either one shot or on their way to be one shot. So, but you know, you tried to make a play. I don't think that was necessarily a mistake to go into the things that I established. Yeah, the sort of categories. Okay. Yeah, taking care of your Ana. You can also with tracers, because they tend to stay. Bad tracers tend to not use crouch, so you can just spam head level and get away with a lot of damage on tracers. But you're doing that, I think. Oh, that was a panic boop. If it might have saved you, but if you, I don't know if you could have, but you could have tried to either bait him or go behind him for the boop. Obviously, you are trying to support Hanzo. Maybe go for the boop here. Yeah, they very expected. If I think if you actually went a bit closer, you could have gotten the Orisa, but that's close enough. And you are winning anyway. Yeah, go back here, team. Heal Diana, because if you heal Diana, he's gonna heal everyone else. You know, that's kind of the off healer sort of Bible. You gotta heal the main heal first every time, because they're gonna heal everyone else if you do. Okay. Okay. That's actually not a bad beat. I don't think so, at least, because your Ana were super overextended. It allowed for that nade, which does nothing because Hog got nanoed. And you got slapped, but I don't think that was a bad beat necessary, or not as bad as the last one. So yeah. Yeah. You can actually, I don't usually hit the second lamppost there for the rollout. I hit the wall after the lamppost, and I go up here and go over this fence, because if they're overextended, you can get a crazy amount of boops. And if not, if they are shooting at you and you try to contest, you can hop over this fence a lot, like you know, like a black person that you are, and get a lot of contesting time.
Yeah, I know. I thought I was a bit higher.
But you know, you don't do shabby. You focus on touching in an overtime. Oh, there was an overtime for them. Okay, actually, then that was feeding, just feeding, because you had 99. You just want to wait for your team to group up and speed this them back, because there's no reason to risk to make plays when the enemy has the point and you have time left to group up, because you are just wasting resources, feeding resources to the enemy team. Kind of the same thing. One cool thing, also that was a hook. One cool thing about playing off tank is that you almost never have to think about feeding gold charge, because your ults are more valuable than what you are feeding almost every time. Actually, getting good at avoiding hold hooks is something that I've been working on a lot, and you can do it easily. If you are close to a wall, you can like wall scheme, get the speed boost, and get out of it quickly a lot of the time. Also, spam a bit more and reload less in general, because, well, actually, I can say that that's a tendency, because you only did it once there, but you really did it when you should have like tried to spam. Good boop on the Hammond. It really fucks Hammonds up. That's a dead hog. You're like you're doing very good right here. Like you're juggling, kind of protecting your team very well. And also like being with your front line. That was very good.
Oh my god, you're so progress. Holy fuck.
Yeah, that was good plays.
Yeah, I thought you were dead when I was like booping the Doomfist away and focusing him.
Yeah, good boop,
Holy shit,
good
you actually
focus.
managed to sleep him.
Remember,
Are you
like
sure
Genji,
that you want to go
Doomfist,
Ana
you can
here?
fuck
On the
absolutely.
worst map?
Tracer, maybe less so. Out of the flankers, the other two I usually can, if especially if it's happening in towards my backline, I just go for the 1v1 because it's very good, and at worst case you are still healing your
I can
team
go flex
and
to
you
Zone,
are
but I think
making
I'm
them
better off
waste their time and feeding
console
your charge.
Doom Tracer again.
Yeah, you have double snipers. This
Mm.
is the time and map when I would
I don't like
switch
it
to
because
like
you have
Zen, but
not
not really on
much
this map.
cover.
There's too many flanks, and if you had like a McCree, I would consider it, but probably
I
not.
hate it so much on this map.
Okay, solid peel. Yeah, harass the tracer, huge, good job. And you also, I saw you like glancing towards your front line to see if they need your help. Very good. With Lucio, you can be kind of everywhere. That's why you
Should I go
can be
for the boop?
aggressive and peel at the same time. Kind of scuffed boop, but you can still get it. It's a fucking Hanzo. Okay. You should have focused after you boop him. He's gonna come back, but you can focus. He's very predictable, so you should probably focus on shooting him
Should I go for the
after you
boop?
booped him. Like, let's see how much ammo you had. Yeah, you shouldn't reload there because you still have 2 more shots or like 1.5 shots, and that's your ticket to kill the Hanzo right there when he's moving in like this straight pattern, and obviously after booping. So
No.
also hitting consistently like boop melees is important. It's kind of like the Genji and the D.Va like boost and like dash combos. You just have to, I don't know, play the game and eventually you get good at it, but hitting like boop melee is super important because it's so much burst damage that people just don't accept. Okay, trying to get in there, very good. Okay, yeah, getting anti sucks. I actually don't know if it was a positioning error. I mean, in hindsight you could have stayed towards your Orisa there, but I wouldn't say that was a obvious thing. Yeah, I'm not even sure if I would have done that. But you did get 42%, so I guess that's good. Also, one thing that's a very good habit to do is not use speed boost whenever you respawn, because you usually need it for the last person. So in this scenario, you want to wait for the Ana, because he's the last one who is not mobile, and speed boost him. Yeah, forming the ball is cool. You should push up a bit though. Yeah. You are like very compact here. Good boop. You shouldn't use boost after the animated, but I'm not sure if it was really after. Orisa is owning. Holy shit. Yeah. Booping people into walls or corners is something that you should, like, if you have a clean boop and you can boop people into corners, or they go for corners, else go for walls and only go for like straight boops. In if you can do either, because they are move a lot more predictably, and not just for you but for your two teammates. You can, if you boop like 3 or 4 people up the wall, that's like a free anything AoE for your teammates. Okay. Actually, right now, if you press tab, I could check out what the enemy is running. But they are obviously not running anything you want to barrier, so you have the tough decision of when to barrier. I mean, that you want to barrier in an obvious way. Yeah, that was a good beat. At least I think so. You could have like tried to push it up to try to like wall skim to this and try to dub the beat here, because you only would have lost like half a second, and dropping beat on like higher things is good because you maybe could have caught the Genji who is going to town in their backline, and he's there. So he was kind of there, and it's just a good habit to also like kind of do a little bit of upward skim or like a upwards jump after beat, because the effect very oh fuck, I'm getting a call. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm not gonna pick that up. I'm working. Okay, so because the effect where you give out your barrier kind of lingers after you drop the beat for like a little less than a second. I'm not sure how much. I haven't tested it, but it's just a feel thing. And if you go higher and you go behind walls and stuff, you can still give it to people even after you feel you should be giving barrier out. So yeah,
Overs.
solid fight overall. And there's the GGs.
You're literally the best team comp I had in a month.
Yeah, I feel that. Holy shit. Yeah, like again with Orisa Hog,
Okay,
you
just-
gonna
I just
win
missed
like
that heal
most
comp.
of your fights against a team that is not running Orisa comp and two healers,
Exactly the same team. But
which is kind of good, right? Right now, if you can
Smurf DPS doing
play a good Orisa, you can like carry so hard on stream. Like I'm actually like coaching, well, not really coaching, but like kind of like casually teaching my
We got
gold
you.
friend
We
to
got
play
you.
Orisa, and he's like
Please.
climbing like all hell. I'm like playing Hog with him. It's so fun. Because it's actually fun to play Orisa if you have a hog
Very
and you
nice
synergize,
target.
because you just
Very
have
nice.
an insta kill on cooldown. It's crazy. Okay.
I'll do one more, then I'll go to bed.
Alrighty.
Yeah, do one more. Let's go.
House long queue times.
Okay. Yo, this one brick in our game. It's there.
Oh no, the fucking Matrix.
Who?
Oh, good.
Mm.
Mei is very strong
My
right
first
now
game
too.
of the day was with that guy. I
Uh,
wanted to play May
because
I saw it on stream.
the thing about Mei right now in this meta game, there are two kind of comps: Hammond comps and Orisa comps. And with Orisa comps, Mei can have an easy time walling off.
The heroes I can't play, and Trace against
Zurich, Fertig. Okay, so he has an easy time walling off hot hooks, and also like if you get on the hog, you can actually you are one of the DPS who can actually deal with hog 1-on-1, which is
I've like
good. And the other thing with Hammond, you obviously phrase Hammond and kill Hammond, and one of the DPS, only DPS who can catch Hammond.
and Arson,
So Mei is super strong right now.
say, on Soldier.
Genuinely,
None of them.
I think
Yo, I'm so shit with Soldier. I don't know why. Because
I genuinely think there's just like a bit of metagame discussion right now. Orisa, Hog, Mei, and then really just anything else with like two healers is an incredibly strong comp.
I was pretty.
And it's what you want
decent
to
at Modern
get
Warfare 2
every
stuff
game.
and shit. Okay, Soldier
Obviously,
is something
only
else,
if the
man.
Mei is good. So really, only Orisa Hog is the fixed one.
It's really different.
But
I
you
got
know,
accused of cheating.
and that's for solo queue. That's I'm not claiming I have like a idea how pro play is structured when you are actually play together, but for solo queue, it's very good because it's a thing, something that either forces a cooldown or kills someone
In Overwatch,
every 8
you-
seconds.
you're speaking about Overwatch.
That's insane.
Come on, what?
And obviously the extremely solid things. You could have
In Overwatch,
actually. I like to do the thing here that you did, like a roll out to the bridge. And I usually like overextend and try to catch someone in the little hole, because if a Genji is there, I think you can beat the Genji with heal boost off cooldown easily. Like you could 1v1 Genjis. Actually, like with Lucio, the better you get with movement, the more people you can 1v1, and you can 1v1 the majority of the 200 health heroes. To be honest,
Come on, what?
like, staying on the payload. You could have tried to get the wall skim of the wall to your back and then the rock and try to boop the Hammond. At least that's why my fucking animal instincts told me to do, but you know. I'm not sure if you would have cashed it, because that was like a hard sequence.
That's the but it's fine, I guess. We'll go main.
What's wrong?
just play main for her.
Yeah, Really.
Huge.
But right now they kinda don't have a main tank, so... Or they have Hammond, but you know, who gives a fuck about Hammond? Really? Hammond is only as good as your DPS.
I mean, if they wanna play.
And Hogarissa is straight up carrying.
Just hold the point. Hold.
Good heal boost, very good heal boost. That was a fat one. And good
I'm
peeling.
just gonna push the point.
Yeah, push the payload. You know, the only stat that actually matters is objective time. I mean, that's not true. The only stat that actually matters is pushing or capturing the objective when you actually get it.
Just shred her. She's in the corner.
And you know, and I got this. Kinda.
Huge.
No more. Unless we get like.
Roadhog.
Not use more also.
Beat. Yeah.
No.
Maybe I would have beaten that, but you know, saving it is kind of safe. Actually, beating, yeah, beating is not good because they have a Zarya, and now they don't have Zarya Mei, so I can, if you beat the grab, you're gonna survive like 90% of the time.
So I can save him. No.
Yep. Let's just go back to spawn, tie your team to group up, speed boost out the people out of spawn, because
Oh, fuck.
you know, you shouldn't try to peel for people just outside your spawn because they shouldn't be feeding in the first place. So
Fucking choke and all.
just speed boost people back.
True.
Okay. Beat? No.
I should have beaten that shit.
Yeah. Agreed. Saving
I
beat
didn't-
for grab
Yo,
is
do you
good,
have
but
the bug as well? I'm not hearing sound cues at times.
yep.
Like when a bastion on.
Actually, about you not hearing sound cues, it's happening to me sometimes as well, and I have a solid theory as to why it happens. Basically, there's like usually how audio is done in games. It has like sort of like priority levels or like sort of basically certain sounds. If you are hearing like 1,000 different sounds at once, you don't want to hear all 1,000 because it wouldn't make any sense. It's not practical. You kind of only want to hear like a certain amount of sounds at the same time, and I'm not sure why, but alt voice lines sometimes get over
So it's just like
over
I wanna hear
prioritized
it.
over certain things. At least I think that's what's happening. That's my idea,
How many also did they use right now?
but you know, maybe it's not right. That was just theory crafting.
They still have Macreal. They used fuck, because they probably have Zen.
So like if you have an atom bomb exploding in the background, you don't want to hear footsteps because there's no point.
Oops.
So, but also like weapon sounds are very important because if your weapon sounds are missing, you're obviously instantly noticing that, and it's very jarring.
Mercy one, Mercy one,
Also,
Mercy
like-
one, Mercy one.
Movement sounds and stuff.
Okay,
So
we dead.
I can understand why alt voice lines are missing because it does make less sense to cut those early.
Hog hack after.
But actually, I have to rewind. I wasn't paying attention at all. I was like thinking about sounds. Okay, so let me finish that. So it makes sense because it would be a lot more jarring to miss like the reload sound because obviously that's happening right in your face. But from a competitive standpoint, it doesn't make sense to miss the old sounds. Yeah. All right, rant over. I'm paying attention to this fight. Solid speed boost. Kinda. Oh, that's the fight you
I
should have
I
beat.
should have beaten that shit.
Yeah.
How many also?
Okay, this is the next push.
Fuck did they?
Okay, nice flank.
Mercy one, Mercy one, Mercy
I
one. Mercy one.
actually, nice shots on the Mercy. I actually could have gone for the boop towards them toward the card because that pretty much guarantees that you win a fight. But you won it anyway because they were out of position. But you could have punished that super hard there. And it's kind of safe because you have your team around you, and you know you're fucking Lucio. You're riding on walls.
Hero is actually disgusting.
Agree?
No, Sombra.
Yeah, when we are like.
Oh no, Macri. Sombra is disgusting though. Macri is not disgusting. Macri is a solid hero.
Hog hack.
Yeah, I think that's a very solid beat. there. It's a shame that your Ana died, but
With the hit.
very solid beat. Go on the Mercy.
Oh my god, can I actually? Oh my god.
And in fights like
Yeah, we're
these,
gonna steal.
you can just spam here boost as soon as you get it.
We have the Phoenix, right?
Very good shots.
Can I get a
Good
spot,
fight.
please, for
Good
fuck's
shit.
sake? Oh my god.
Go back to picking up your team, you know. Farm those
I'm
endorsements.
gonna untilt you.
I'm gonna hack the May.
Never tilt. Never
I'm gonna
tilt.
hack it.
Hey, just wait, we're down 4 right now. We're all coming back.
Sorry if I'm kinda like low energy right now because I only slept like 2.5 hours, but I really wanted to do this VOD review because I know if I don't do it now,
Yeah, they're
I
coming.
will have so much work that I might not actually
You ready?
be able to do it for a while, and I don't want that. I'd rather do mod reviews than
No.
more, less focus was
That's a
reviews
lot.
than
Everyone.
better ones because I'm gonna miss things anyway, and if I do enough, I'm gonna cover everything at some point.
True.
So, but I'm trying best. Okay, good speed boost out of the Mei ult. You can boop the Mei in these situations so she misses the shots.
Yo,
Just like
Minecraft
McCree.
again, it's so fast,
Same
holy shit.
principle. After stuns, you want to stun whoever is stunning, or like boop whoever is stunning.
Oh my god.
I actually don't like the Zen switch here too much because they have like 3 DPS, don't have a main tank. They don't really have a shield that you have to break. They don't really have a big front line that you can spam to farm trends. And your team is good on capitalizing on Discord, but I think Lucio would have been better value. At least against 3 DPS, I don't like playing Zen at all because I feel like the amount of times you just get rolled is very high. It's not worth the upside as much. But with 2 minutes left, Trance is a very solid win condition. Especially against the team comp so unfocused as the enemy team.
How do I have to reload?
May's close right here.
Okay.
The
Solid, your team is carrying, solid sightlines. With Zen, I think one of the biggest thing is knowing the cheeky sightlines and like kinda abusing them. And you can do
Oh,
some
just
stupid
nothing.
shit.
There you go.
It's
Like,
so nice to have DPS.
I can't think of
Okay.
any on Gibraltar
Do kills.
of the
as
top
well.
of the dome, but there are some
That
good ones.
level EMP was embarrassing as hell. Just imagine for a second he was
I don't mean sightlines really. I mean more like angles, like very very narrow angles that you can shoot through, and hits a choke, and you can spam tanks and do things while you are completely safe.
I mean, it's so shit on this map.
Sorry?
I wanna play fire, but it's so shit on this map. Actually, dog shit.
Do it.
Let's
Torp maybe.
Okay, well, 3 DPS Hammond is unlucky, especially on defense, because you have to play proactive, and people don't do a good job of playing proactive on defense.
I don't know.
And I wouldn't
Some
play
of the
Zen.
flankers in here. I'm just gonna protect the Ana with Zen. Let's see.
I think you get rolled here on them, but you don't even have a shield anymore. But your call. Generally, Zen right now, Zen is a better pick most of the time, but you usually don't have the team to support it. Oh, you're downloading Superhot. That's a good game. Superhot is a super good game.
Do you believe it?
Sorry?
I don't know.
Oh, you checked if you have enough recording space. Unlucky, better buy some HDDs. My dude.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Well,
What?
don't stand there unless you know what you're doing. Especially
Yes,
don't peek that room with Zen. Also, I hate playing here on this like little box with Zen because it's just very bad. I'm sure you can see why. But with
What did he
Hammond, that's kind of a good place to hold, but not with Zen. Also, I think one other hero
Go on,
that's
on
worth
table.
learning
They're
if you
pushing
want to
table.
be like a really good off tank is Baptiste. And the reason for that is because you can use a defensive ult, and if you only have one more fight left and you need to have a defensive ult, you can switch to Baptiste and have a immortality, which is like sort of like a 1/3 of a defensive ult
Okay, I have back visor.
if you use it well.
God.
So I'm kind of like playing some Baptiste right now.
Someone's coming to you. Someone's coming to you. Yeah, Genji.
I see it,
Don't
and
push,
then
yeah.
because, you know,
Pushing
Genji is
this
a fun character.
It's just never gonna be worth it because
I don't know.
if you catch up to the Genji, he's gonna just deflect you unless you
He's
own
not.
him. Okay,
Thank you.
but and kind of going through here with Zen is very bad. With Zen,
Should've-
you want to
should've gave
play
The Oracle.
like absolutely the most fucking premium angles that Overwatch can offer, which is right here. Is if your team is pushed up, this like stairs and this sightline to this little gap. But you want to go back soon, if you need to, and then like the sightline down here, and then like sightline up the stairs, and then like the sightline from one of the corners to this area. And that's what you want to rotate between because
My low.
oh, very nice shots on me.
Yeet.
Come here, Mercy. Oh, no, okay.
Monkey slow, you can die, Discord as well.
Got him.
Solid trance, very good.
Can we pull this off? 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 Maybe. Wow.
Oh,
Yep.
of course, he dashes on me. You know, he kills like everywhere.
You gave your team a chance to win the fight, and you know it didn't happen.
I did good.
I still think that was a solid trance. The reason I like to
I don't know.
I don't really regret trancing these kind of things is that you want to be saving trance for blade anyway. So if you have like a, let's go up on paint again. So if you have like here's a timeline, you have a fight, they use an ult that you have to trance, you don't trance it, they wipe you, you lose a fight, so that's a bad one. And then you have another fight, you use a trance, you roll them, you win a fight. That's a good one. And then next fight you don't have transfer the something that rolls you again, so that's shit. So I better just take my chances of having like a slightly like upside on this fight by trancing the blade, and a slight upside on this fight trancing the blade, and having the absolute neutral one between. Sometimes if your team has the momentum or the enemy team is out of position, trancing or beating early is good. But like on attack where you said you should have beated, that was a very good beat to do, even though they had grab at that moment, probably. Because if you have enough momentum, you put the enemy in the same position where you don't give them the chance to use their like good pop-off ult, because it just you win the fight before they have a chance, so you have like a high upside fight, and then you roll them, I guess. Like you try to like absolutely destroy them and have like a neutral fight, because even if they're too afraid to waste their grab and stuff. But you know, this is the more common pattern that you have when playing against Nanoblade and grab, and obviously if you're a really good EMP, because EMP is hard to beat, hard to trust, but you know, even harder to beat. So yeah, this is usually what. This is kind of like actually a good situation, because this is usually making a play, making a difficult position. This is making a difficult choice in a difficult position, and this is just not making mistakes. So it's kind of like accidentally in a good place. So yeah, that's good.
Oh my god. I'm trying to get better Junkrat because my Junkrat is shit.
Also, what I talked about having advantageous fights.
Just come back.
If you are like
Nice.
good, you want to have as many neutral fights as you can with no advantages because you're gonna roll them,
Nej, ja, like that. Okay,
you know,
push it.
with your advantage. Well, or with your skill. Sorry. So that's why playing for more neutral fights is good.
Yeah.
And if you're bad, you know, then just fucking improve, and then you win more because you have more neutral fights and you are better.
Whenever I try to kill someone, they just die right before.
I don't know. It's okay, I guess. Like better than being the only one.
Excuse me? I thought I heard a hit marker. Okay, that sounded like a hit marker. Okay, but I'm either too tired and hallucinating, or I'm. Okay, that's weird. Yeah.
No, I don't have.
And that's where them not having tanks is bad because you can farm trans fast enough.
We traded, but Arana's dead. So.
Actually, your team kind of popped off regardless, so you can recontest and have like a good neutral fight. But now you are in a shit situation because you either hold trans for a fucking century, or you just let them have a nanoblade for free, or a fight free of nanoblade next time. Obviously they didn't have it now because your team popped off, but you know you can play around your team popping off
Make one, make one, make one.
What's behind? What's behind?
in solo queue, at least. Nice.
Mate behind this guy, for point.
Pushing the Mei if they have no wall is actually kind of
Mate
safe.
behind this guy, in the
With
spawn.
Junkrat.
I'm pushing with you.
Yeah, heal the Anna.
He's definitely behind this guy.
Good.
Yeah, yeah, she's on me, on me.
Oh, that was a Hanzo, not an. By the way, if I'm saying your list of stupid shit, sorry, that's because I really had 2.5 hours of sleep. There's a pretty gangster-like spot here where you can shoot through, I think. Also, actually playing on top of these boxes is solid with them because you can fall down to the left side or to the back, and they have to go around if they don't have like the mobility
I know me.
to do it. And you can play from either from the here or the behind the boxes if they push up. So that's like a good place to be. Yeah, yeah, right here.
Oh.
Yeah, just solid spam.
Mate top right, mate top right. Or top left, sorry, top left.
Solid orbs, just
Inside.
farming the enemy tanks. Healing Diana. You know, I think I shouldn't say this because, yeah, obviously if you are masters you know this, but it's kind of goes like a main heal that needs healing. Actually, like or this is orb priority. Actually, probably should get a new one. Yeah. So orb priority. Like oversimplified. Obviously, there are edge cases. Is main heal. Who needs it? Then frontline / flanker, whoever is ahead, who needs it. Then squishy, who needs it. And the reason why you don't want to focus on squishies too much, because you're obviously your main hero should be handling that. So if your main hero is fucked, then this sort of like switches. But you don't want to spend a lot of time looking backwards with Zen and managing kill orbs. You want to be like going like shooting forwards at all times, and you want to pay as little attention to healing as possible, but still have your orb out at all times on a thing. And then after that, you have it on a front line or a flanker who doesn't need it. And the reason why you don't have it on your main heal is because obviously your main heal is less likely to be damaged at the start of a fight. Yeah. Okay, you almost have trance. This is very solid. They only have one more fight left, so
Thanks for help, guys.
I couldn't help you there. Could just wait and not to fall
get the
down.
big dick nano.
Like though.
Yeah.
See?
Oh, save your Rana. Yeah, for sure. Good job. Actually, very nice trance. Very, very nice trance. You found saved fucking everyone. You shot everyone. Good job.
I almost got my second tire.
Your second.
Well deserved victory. Okay, well, I hope this was useful.
We got
I hope the audio balance isn't completely fucked. And I hope you like the video. And I hope you like the like fucking low energy video where I have to like stop and think because I'm tired. But you know, next time maybe I'll try to be a bit more awake for this. And thanks for you know sending me your vote. I hope you liked the video. Please you know do tell me how you liked it and because you know I want to improve too. I want to improve in this what stuff. I try to move away from like less trivial like game stuff and more like decision making and playmaking stuff because I feel like that's where it's the most valuable. What I can try to say because you know but what I explained basically at the beginning of the video. So yeah. Have a nice summer. Have a nice rest of the summer and yeah, hope you enjoy and good climbing.